Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're really diving into an ancient narrative, specifically from the book of 2 Samuel. We're looking at a pretty remarkable story. It's about unexpected kindness, loyalty, and this idea of transformation. Our mission really is to unpack the profound insights here, exploring how past actions, past covenants, and this extraordinary kind of grace can just fundamentally reshape someone's life. So the scene is set. King David, he's finally secure on his throne after, years of really brutal civil war. And then he starts the surprising search. He asks this question, is there still anyone left of the house of Saul that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake?
What strikes me right away is how much this defies the norms. Usually kings would wipe out rival families, right, to secure power. So why is David actively looking for descendants of Saul, his former enemy?
That's exactly it. It's fascinating because this isn't about power consolidation, not in the usual sense. It really seems to reflect David's deep commitment to an oath, a promise he made years before to Jonathan, who was Saul's son.
Ah, right, his close friend Jonathan. Yes, it was this covenant of loyal friendship, a promise to show kindness to Jonathan's line, no matter what had happened with Saul. And the original texts, they use this specific Hebrew word for the kindness David wants to show, chesed. It's more than just being nice, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Chesed. It implies this deep, unwavering love, covenant loyalty, often shown even when it's not deserved. And for David to offer this kind of kindness to someone linked to Saul, Saul relentlessly tried to kill him multiple times. That's where you see how radical it is. It just makes you wonder, okay, who could possibly be left and what kind of state would they be in?
Well, that's where Ziba comes into the story. He was a servant from Saul's household, and Ziba gives David the answer. Mephibosheth, he's Jonathan's son, so Saul's grandson. But then Ziba adds this really critical detail. He is crippled in his feet. Why is that detail so central here?
Yeah, that detail, it just paints such a vivid picture. Total vulnerability, disadvantage. We actually learn from the accounts how it happened. Mephibosheth was only 5 years old. When the news came about Saul and Jonathan dying, his nurse panicked, basically, fled in a hurry and, tragically dropped him. That's how he was injured. So his brokenness, it was a direct result, maybe unintentional, but still a result of the chaos surrounding his grandfather Saul's end.
Exactly. And his situation, it wasn't just physical. Think about his name, Mephibosheth. It might have meant something like dispeller of shame, but, tragically, it became associated with shame because of his condition and his family background. Plus, he was living in this place called Lodabar.
Lodabar.
Which literally means no pasture. Like a desolate wasteland. No resources, no hope, really.
Wow. And then for him to describe himself as a dead dog, that's about the lowest self-assessment imaginable in that culture. So you have this picture, completely marginalized, physically broken, exiled in a wasteland, carrying all this ancestral baggage.
It's total desolation, really, a place without provision. He sees himself as worthless, and that's the condition David finds him in.
Okay, so despite all of that, the enemy lineage, the physical disability, the shame, the outcast status, what David does next is, it's stunning. He immediately sends for him, just summons him.
It's extraordinary, because David's action, it just completely turns typical power dynamics on their head. He doesn't just bring Mephibosheth to Jerusalem. He restores all of Saul's land to him. Think about that property, that status.
For sure.
And then he decrees that Mephibosheth will eat at my table always, like one of the king's sons.
That a king's son.
Yeah. That's an incredibly honored position. He's elevating him from the absolute lowest point imaginable to the highest possible honor in the kingdom.
It's just a staggering reversal. And this story, it really hammers home this idea of acceptance. It's not based on anything Mephibosheth did or deserved, right? It's purely about David keeping his promise, that covenant loyalty to Jonathan.
Exactly. The sources really frame this as a kind of unmerited favor, grace. Taking someone from that wilderness with no food or water, that Lodabar, and seating him at the king's table. It's just this beautiful picture of radical acceptance.
So thinking about this ancient story, what really stands out to you now? For me, it's just such a powerful reminder. Even when someone is profoundly broken, maybe in circumstances they didn't create, this kind of extraordinary kindness, this radical acceptance, it's possible. It can be extended. So maybe something for you to consider. Where in your own life might you be overlooking a chance to show that kind of deep chesed? Or maybe where have you perhaps received it unexpectedly without even realizing the depth of it?